The People's Democratic Party has screened its aspirants for the Edo State governorship election, which comes up later in the year. Those screened were the Edo State Deputy Governor, Felix Akhabue, former Managing Director of Sterling Bank, Asue Igodalo, and former House of Representatives member, that's Omorige Obede Ihama. The screening was in preparation for the party's February 22nd state governorship primary election. Other aspirants screened were the former chairman of Esan West local government area, that's Felix Akhabue, the former chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Edo State, Ojezwa, a former member of the House of Representatives, Omosede Igbenedion, and others. The chairman of the screening panel and governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, reassured aspirants that the party will ensure fairness for all contestants. To speak to us on the politics in the state, the party's process of picking a governorship candidate, and his political ambition and plans for Edo State is the PDP governorship aspirant in the state. That's Dr. Felix Akhabue. Good to have you here on Arise News.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Well, great. Good afternoon to you, of course. Dr. Akhabue, can you tell us about the selection process in your party regarding who will be the candidates for PDP in the Edo 2024?
Well, as you already are aware, the process has started. We have obtained our forms, and the forms have been properly filled and returned. And we have been invited for screening, and the exercise took place yesterday. I was one of the aspirants that we screened, and I came out successful. I'm sure you can see my clearance certificate. So I'll be screened to participate in the primary. And the screening committee, as well as the National Working Committee, has assured us of a free, fair, and transparent primaries. And that is what we expect. And by God's grace, I'm a party man, and I have done my work. I've gone around the states. They know me very well. You mentioned that I was a former executive chairman of East and West. Well, I was also, let me also state that I was former Agon chairman, Edo State. I was former Agon national president. I was also former President, United Cities and Local Government of West Africa, and Vice President in Africa. I'm also a former commissioner in Edo State. So Edo people know me very well, and by God's grace, the party know me very well. I want to assure you that I will come out successful at the end of the primaries, by God's grace.
Fantastic. Now, as you mentioned, you're a party man. Let's talk party politics. It seems the PDP is currently a house divided against itself. When you look at the factions of the Legacy Coalition, the faction of the so-called anointed candidate of the sitting governor, and then the aspirations of the deputy governor, where do you sit in this whole mix? And how do you perceive these alleged factions will unravel as we get closer to the primaries?
Well, PDP is the oldest party in Nigeria today. PDP has a mechanism of resolving, internal crisis, which you said is, which all of us know is existing today. I'm not afraid. The internal mechanism of PDP will be used to resolve all the issues. Yes, others are contesting. I've actually contested. I'm sure you heard that I've held various positions in my state at the zonal level and at the national level in the past. Even at the continental level, I was our first vice president, World Conference of Mayors all over the world. So I believe in competition. So I'm ready to compete. Yes, I know we are 10 that have been screened. You did mention one person is anointed. But be rest assured that the majority of Edo people will speak. Majority of the delegates will speak. We have close to 600 delegates who will eventually elect the person who will, fly the flag of the party at the end of the day. So I am close to those persons. I am close to the party hierarchies and close to those delegates to be able to choose me. And I want to assure you that aside the so-called anointed candidate, which you did mention, all the other aspirants, yeah, I mentioned aspirants, we're all working together, we're all relating, and I'm sure we must have seen some, even before the screening, we had a meeting, 7 of us, we had a meeting and agreed that all of us, we are brothers and sisters and we work together, and the person who eventually emerged from the majority decision will be supported. And yesterday again, after the screening, 9 of us met outside the so-called anointed aspirant. I want to assure you that among the 9 of us, one will certainly become the candidate. And I want to strongly believe that with my popularity, with my relationship, with my co-aspirant, the 9 aspirants, I have good relationship with all of them. And with my good relationship with the party, I want to assure you, I will be the candidate. And the 9 of us have already pledged before the party. And I've just coming from the National Secretariat where I picked my clearance certificate, and the other 8 are presently with the National Working Committee. I'm supposed to be there, but because of this program, I have to run down so that I can participate in this program. See, 9 of us have pledged before the party that we are going to work with each other, and we are one. And the 9 of us are politicians. We have been in the party, and we have known ourselves over the years. So I'm good to go. Be rest assured that the tenant mechanism of PDP will be used to resolve the problem, and eventually one of us will emerge. And certainly, I am going to be the one among the 9 that will emerge as the candidate of the party, by God's grace.
Oh, we'll see how that, plays out. For some skeptics, they're saying that, your long absence from active politics means that you need to reestablish grassroots connections from Edo, and that many youth voters might not be too familiar with the roles that you've played in the past. Of course, you've told us some of the roles that you've performed, recently and in times past. But do you think, from your assessment, that you've been able to reestablish this connection that will be needed with the grassroots to emerge victorious, as you anticipate?
I've never been out of active politics. I've been in politics for over 30 years, over 3 decades. I've been there since 1991, and I've always been active. And I did mention, yes, I was a council chairman before, and I left the council 14 years ago, precise 2010. I finished my tenure as council chairman. In 2010, I became Agon National President. From 2010 to 2012, I was Agon National President. First Vice President, United Cities and Local Government of Worldwide. First Vice President, Work Office of Mayor from 2012 to 2014. 2014, I was also a delegate at the National Conference. You can see I've always been active. Eventually, in 2019, I was a commissioner in Edo State. Just recent, 2019 to 2020. The immediate past election, 2023, I was one of those persons who tried to go to National Assembly. And you remember, because of the divide in Edo State, my name was among the names that were initially published by INEC as the candidate of PDP in Edo State. But eventually, after Supreme Court judgment of 1st February last year, 2022, some of us, the group that belongs to the legacy PDP, were, set aside as a result of the judgment of the court. So you can see that last year, I participated in primary and I won. So, and we were 10 who also participated, just like it is now, we were also 10 who participated in that primary, but one, was separate, who did a different thing, who happened not to be in our group. Eventually, based on the judgment, he became the candidate. And the other 9 that we participated together, I won. So I've always been active, and the party know me, I know them. And don't also forget, I'm a man at home. I'm a grassroots politician. When you hear people talk of homeboy, people call me not just homeboy, they call me star homeboy, home breed, because I live at home, my family live at home, my businesses are all across Edo State. So I am somebody that is well known. You call me Honorable Felix. People call me Jofe because it's my business name. People call me Akhabue Farms because I have a farm. People call me Supreme because I'm into Supreme Multilinks and all that. So people know me very well. So I live at home, so I'm always in politics. So people know me very well. So I'm always connected with my people. Always connected.
Let's talk about your home. Let's talk about your people. Of course, we know zoning is a major, major bone of contention in this election. And you being from Edo Central. Now, some politicians and critics are saying that the voting population in Edo Central is not significant enough to win this election. That the voting population of Edo South is more than that of both Edo Central and Edo North combined, is the argument. How do you feel about the voter demographic of Edo Central? Do you think that Edo Central is capable of bringing out the next governor?
Well, you have said it all. People claim that Edo Central, in terms of voting population, we are lower compared to the other two senatorial districts. Yes, it is true. But let me tell you that Edo Central has been there over the years, even in the days of UPN and MPN. Our son, late Professor Felix Ali, who was former governor of the then Bende State, was from Edo Central. And it was Edo and Delta, as it was, two states, two states now that was one in 1979. And Professor Ali contested the election from Edo Central. He won. So what matters is your relationship with your people across the state. But let me also tell you that, yes, my brothers my brothers and sisters in Edo South, yes, in terms of the figures that are registered in Edo South, there are more. But let me tell you that people from Edo Central, people who are native in Edo Central, that are registered in Edo South because they live in Edo South, I can assure you that 60% that is claimed that is in Edo South, don't be surprised that people from Edo Central may be up close to 20% of it. So our people, because Benin City is the city we have in the state, many of our people live in Benin City. So don't think that the population that are registered in Edo Central are the only persons that are from Edo Central. No, that is not true. And even people from Edo, not true, many of them also live in Edo South. So it's the city we have. It's our city. It's one state. Whether it's Edo South, Edo Central, Edo North, we are one state. So we can live in any part of the state. So many of our people in Edo Central, they live in Edo South. So they are there. So once I become the candidate, they will be there to vote for me. As I did mention, before Oshomole came as governor, the person who was the governor of Edo State, that was elected as governor of Edo State, was from Edo Central, Professor Osumbo. He won election in Edo State. Yes, it was overturned by the court thereafter. But he's from Edo Central. He won the election. I did mention Ali before. So this is not the first time people are contesting from Edo Central. Don't also forget, people thought that Bayelsa is a very small state. They cannot produce president of this country. Don't forget, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan from Bayelsa State, one of the smallest states in Nigeria, contested the election and he won. So what matters is the relationship you have with your people. I told you I was Argon chairman in Edo State. So people know me across the state. I was commissioner. They know me across the state. I have business in Edo Central. I have businesses in Edo South. I have businesses in Edo North. So I cut across. So what matters is people knowing me and they know the stuff I'm made of.
Okay.
And people keep talking about me now, what I did as council chairman. So it will work for me because people want somebody who can perform. So the population that are registered in the Edo Central will not have any effect, negative effect on my election by God's grace.
Well, Dr. Akhabue, analysts are saying that your odds would improve significantly if you're able to unite the state PDP behind you and split the APC opposition. But they're saying that the Governor Obaseki remains the man to beat. From what you've told us so far, it looks as though you've been able to achieve that first part of the party getting behind you. But how confident are you that the PDP will be able to split the APC opposition in order for you to emerge governor when that time comes?
Well, as I've said, we're already putting ourselves together. Before I came to this program now, I can tell you that other aspirants that we are all together, the 9 of us, aside the very one you did mention as the so-called anointed aspirant, they are before the National Working Committee right now. We are discussing way forward for Edo. I'm happy that the National Working Committee is also determined to ensure we have togetherness in order for us to go to the election. Edo is PDP. PDP is Edo. The truth is that the opposition, the APC in Edo State, is only capitalizing on the fact that we may not be able to come together. I'm sure they are shocked now that we're already coming together. So the internal mechanism in PDP, will be able to bring all of us together. And one of us will emerge as the candidate, which I said, I will be the one that will emerge by the grace of God. And be rest assured that election is about who you know. I know all the political actors in the state. All the political actors. I'm the only aspirant today in Edo State that have worked the last 3 governors of Edo State. When Osumba was the governor of Edo State, I was Icon chairman. And by that position, I worked closely with the state government. I was like the link between the local government and the state government. So I worked closely with Professor Seremi Osumba as the governor of Edo State. When Oshomole became the governor of Edo State, he gave me more responsibility. Almost things that concern the local government across the state, I was the one handling him on his behalf. So, and as such, I work closely with him. And I know people that are around him. And I also work closely with the House of Assembly because I was a link between the local government and the House of Assembly. The present governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, His Excellency Governor Obaseki, I have also worked with him in his cabinet. So I have also had experience with him. And persons that have worked with him, I also have a relationship with them. So to me, I know all the political actors in the state, so it is easy for me to reach out to them. And they know my kind of a person. I'm somebody who stands for development. And they know my humility. And they know that I'm somebody who believes that Edo should get value for their money. People are looking for a homeboy who is coming from the private sector and who is also feeling the pains they are feeling. Because if we say the infrastructures in the state are decaying and our people are suffering, I'm one of those persons that are also feeling the pains because I live with them. I do business with them. If we are saying, electricity, it's an issue that we need to improve on it, I'm one of the people that are feeling it. I'm into hospitality business. Today, I have 3 hospitality centers in Edo State. So I'm also feeling their pains. So Edo people will come back. And I belong to almost all the trade unions in Edo State. In short, when I was a student in university, I was a bike rider. So the Okada people will tell you, Honorable Felix Akhabue is our member. I'm a member of the patent medicine dealers in Edo State. They will say, Honorable Felix Akhabue is our member. The Hoteliers Association of Edo State, I'm a member. They will tell you, it's our member. The supermarket owners in Edo State, I'm a member. They will tell you, Jofe is our member. I was a student union activist. The student will tell you, it's Baba student. I'm also a farmer. Edo Farmers Association, I'm a member. So they will tell you, Jofe is our member. You can see that I belong to almost all the trade unions.
Yes, you certainly do.
It is easy for me to win the election in Edo State.
Right, and on that note, very quickly before we go, Dr. Akhabue, we've made several references to a so-called anointed candidate. And, when we started the process of going towards this election, we do know that, of course, the PDP declared a war against godfatherism. We see what godfatherism is doing nearby in Rivers State. Now, my question to you is, how much involvement or how much influence do you think the governor, Obaseki, will have on the final selection of the candidate? Very, very briefly, our time is up.
Well, to me, I'm not even an enemy to the governor. I told you I did serve with the governor. But people do say there is an anointed aspirant among us, from the governor. But to me, I have not heard directly from the governor. Myself and governor, from time to time, we have communicated. And governor has not told me, step down, this is my anointed aspirant. So I do know that even in the past, when our late leader, Chief Tunianini, was alive, all the aspirants will claim that they are anointed aspirant of our leader, so that they will be able to carry a lot of people along. So to me, I don't really believe that the governor didn't tell me. And some persons have also claimed that governor have not told them that he's an anointed aspirant. To me, I believe at the appropriate time, as I'm doing my homework, when it will be time, I'm sure Governor will see the reason, will see every reason to back me because I have worked with him. He knows my kind of person.
Well, thank you.
I have been to his house. He has been to my house. He knows me very well to my house. So the governor will support me. I believe I will get the support of the governor. With all the enormous power of the governor, he will just support me at the end of the day so that we can win the election. He knows I'm a product to be able to win the election because the governor wants us to retain Edo State. So the governor will, at the end, look at all of us, knowing that I stand
we wish you well.
the best chance. I am the best product to win. Governor will support me. I'm rest assured.
We certainly wish you well, PDP governorship aspirant in Edo State, Dr. Felix Akhabue. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsday, and all the best in Edo State. Thank you.